good morning. This is Claudia Valentin. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm gonna give our athletes some love throughout our yoga session, and even non-athletes, we can all benefit from this and a little bit of yoga. And so I really wanted to emphasize the importance of the breath. In order to get the most benefits out of it, it's really important to not so much focus on the time that you're in the pose or in the moment, but the breath. How deep can you breathe and how much can you breathe? When we surrender and we really bring in the breath, that gives our muscles permission to let go, to relax. And in that surrender, that's where the magic and the breakthrough really happens. So I really encourage you to focus on your breath. We're gonna have some movement, and then we're also gonna have moments where we're gonna be in stillness and embrace the stillness within a pose. And that's where the breath really comes into play. And if you ever feel like you can't breathe very well in a pose in an asana, that's oftentimes a sign to back out. It might be a little too much. And the more you can breathe, the more you can let go. And as you continue to breathe, the body starts to let go and the pose starts to change. So I really encourage the breath. I really encourage patience. So let's get started. So let's start today in a seated position. So just find yourself in a nice crisscross Sukhasana. We're gonna bring the shoulders up to the ears and then relax them down. Take a couple of these rounds. Inhale to bring them up and exhale to release. Taking about one more of those. Inhale, bring the shoulders up, and exhale, really settle them away from the ears. Feel yourself growing a little bit taller in your neck. From here, we're going to start to activate our Ujjayi breath, which is also like an ocean sounding breath. So in order to activate this breath, you can take whichever hand you want out in front of you and just imagine how you want to fog up a glass, how you maybe when you were a kid, bringing that gentle contraction in the back of your throat. So now we're going to do that breath, but with our mouths closed, still feeling that contraction in the back of your throat. Some people call this the Darth Vader breath too. So if that is a reference that helps, then connecting with that and just bringing that Ujjayi breath, connecting with that Ujjayi breath. Perhaps closing your eyes, think of yourself growing a little taller here in your vertebrae. Your palms can be up or down, however you prefer. Feel your hip bones supporting you on Mother Earth. Feel your spine growing little by little all the way through the crown of the head, like if they were pulling us from a string up. And centering in our energy, our intention, what brought you here today. Connecting with our breath, our intention. When you're ready on your next breath in, reach the hands up to the sky. You can maybe flutter the eyes open or keep them closed. And from here, exhale, twisting to the right. So the right hand goes behind you, left hand at your knee. Take a moment to pause here, just looking to the side. From here, we're going to inhale, grow through our spine, and then on the exhale, twist and look over that right shoulder. On the next breath in, coming back through center, reach the hands back up. And on the exhale to the other side. Left hand goes behind, right hand at your knee. Take a moment to pause. From here, breathe, grow through your spine, and then exhale, look over that left shoulder. Our eyes are an extension of the spine, so really gazing with our eyes towards that left corner. And on your next breath in, inhale your way back to center. And exhale, hands to your heart. From here, hands come to our knees. We're gonna take some seated cats and cows. Inhale, arch the spine. Imagine that you wanna shine your heart open. And on the exhale, we round the spine like a C. Like if you wanna take your heart towards the back. Following the rhythm of your breath, inhaling to open up our hearts. And exhale to really round in our spine. A couple more breaths here, your pace. Wrapping up our final round. When you're ready, find your way through center, grow through your spine. We're gonna take our hands like little cups behind us. From here, inhale, grow, and then exhale, think about sending your heart forward. Still grounded in the hips, still straight in our spine. Notice how it feels like to find that length even though we're leaning forward. You can stay right here or extend the hands out in front, and then slowly exhale and melt down if you'd like a little bit more. Finding some stillness here, and again, really finding your breath. Invite the breath forward. Making sure here we're not lifted in our sitting bones, making sure we're nice and grounded. Feel that foundation. That's what's gonna give you that nice stretch, really feeling your hips ground, and then letting yourself surrender to this moment. Taking one more breath here. Mindfully, we're gonna walk our hands back through center. Notice which leg is in front, which leg is behind. We're just gonna switch it out. From here, right hand comes down. Inhale, reach and grow through your left side. And then when you're ready, exhaling those left fingertips towards your right side. Notice that that bottom shoulder is tensing up, relax it down. If your heart is melting forward, think about sending that left shoulder back, like if you want to take your heart towards the sky. Staying strong in our neck, flowing in our breath, feeling those hip bones grounding, especially that left hip. On your next exhale, slowly lower that left hand down. Come through center, breathing here. Maybe noticing a difference in our side body and our lats. When you're ready, we're gonna settle for the other side. Left hand down, inhale, reach up with your right hand. Think about finding that length and then sending that length over to this side. Again, really feeling that foundation in that right hip joint. You can look up or down, whichever feels best on your neck. And again, imagining that you want to take your heart towards the sky. On the next exhale, slowly brings you back through center, breathing here. When you're ready, hands like little cups behind us once more. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. When you're ready, maybe staying here or walking those hands out in front. And now melting once more. This time we're accessing the other hip now that we switch our legs. And again, just honoring the breath. It's just you and your breath in this moment. Feel your belly move with your breath, inviting that breath forward. Taking one more round of your breath. Mindfully from here, we're gonna find our way to our Sukhasana Seated position, rising back up in our spine. From here, tabletop, finding ourselves on our hands and knees. So from here, stacking the shoulder above the wrist, hip above the knee. Spread the fingers to take some pressure off your wrist here. Your toes can be tucked or untucked, however you prefer, but we're just gonna inhale and arch our spine to then exhale and round. Taking now some of these cats and cows in this tabletop position, perhaps noticing a difference from the ones that we took while we were seated. And again, following your breath. Your breath will set the tone, will set the pace. Your breath will deliver the breakthrough. When you arch the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And when you're round, think about tucking your tailbone in. Maybe it's slightly tucking your chin in too. You can continue with these cats and cows, or maybe from here you like to take circles with your rib cage. Taking the circles in one direction, and then in the opposite direction. And again, freedom to find what feels right for you. All I do is give suggestions, you do what resonates. When you're ready, we're gonna neutralize our spine. We're gonna tuck our toes, lift our hips, and find our down dog. Let the heart melt back towards your thighs. Maybe here walking your legs in place if you'd like a bit of release, or maybe today you want more stillness. Maybe you wanna find that stillness. But notice how your body is reacting to this downward dog. Inviting that Ujjayi breath forward. The Ujjayi breath is great for giving us warmth and calming our mind. When you're ready, we're going to shift our weight towards our feet. We're going to unplug the hands and walk the hands back to find a forward fold at the back of the mat. So just letting your head hang, having no wrinkles in the back of your neck. Letting gravity melt you here. I invite you to bend your knees here a little or a lot, just making sure we're not locking at our knees. Maybe grabbing onto the elbows, swaying from side to side. Feel the earth beneath your toes, the outer edges of your feet, your heels. From here, we're gently going to release our hands if they were interlaced. We're going to halfway lift as we breathe in, and then exhale to melt back down to our forward fold. One more of those. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. From here, with a soft bend in the knees, inhale, rise. Reach the hands up, and then exhale to your heart. Inhale back up to the sky. And exhale, release it down. Bend the knees a lot. Walk it back out into your down dog, just like how we came in. Setting the heart back. Having 50% of our weight in our hands, the other 50 in our legs. So making sure we're distributing our weight evenly. From here, inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, lower your knees. Your chest, chin, lower down. From here, cobra pose. Open up your heart. And then exhale, melt it back down. Inhale, back up, open your heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, back up. And exhale, release. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, let it go. From here, right ear to the mat. Extend the arms out like a T, like if you're giving the earth a hug. From here, that right hand that you can't see is gonna stay as is. Your left hand is gonna go underneath your left shoulder. And we're slowly gonna open up our body towards this side. Maybe that top leg comes down. Maybe that left hand goes behind your back. Taking deep breaths here into that right shoulder. Feeling those right fingers grounding down on the earth. Our head is relaxed on the earth or on a pillow perhaps. Focus on the quality of your breath. One more deep breath here. And then mindfully we melt our hearts back down to the earth. We're gonna switch sides. So that left hand extends out, left ear now goes to the earth. From here, that right hand is gonna go underneath the right shoulder and we slowly open up. Maybe take that top leg down. Maybe that opposite hand goes behind you, and again, letting your head rest. Maybe even closing the eyes and just honoring your breath in this moment. The shoulder might feel completely different from the other. I know I feel the difference. So just honoring the way that it's showing up and breathing in those areas that we need it the most. Couple more deep breaths here. When you're ready to release, gently the heart melts back down to the earth. From here, we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, cobra pose, open up your heart, and then exhale, child's pose, open up the knees, big toes touch, and we sink down. Sinking our hips towards our heels, our heart towards the earth. If you want a tricep stretch, you can imagine grabbing onto the top edge of the mat just to find some extra length in your hands. And from here, joining the palms, taking the thumbs at the back of your neck, maybe walking the elbows a little farther in front. The idea here is to let your heart melt down towards the earth as you exhale. Connecting back with that intention, that purpose for today. Mindfully from here, settling the hands back to the earth if you have them. From here, we're going to find our tabletop position. So coming on to our hands, our knees, drawing our knees underneath the hips, making sure we readjust that. From here, inhale, right arm up, and then exhale down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale back up, exhale down. Last one, inhale up. And this time, let that hand relax, melt into your shoulder. Maybe extend that left hand out in front or behind your back. If you're taking that hand behind your back or grabbing onto your thigh, make sure that left shoulder is drawing down, making sure we're not hunching it close to our body. Think about drawing it away from your face, like if your shoulder wants to go back behind you. If you'd like to work on your balance, you can extend the left leg back. Whether you flex or point the toes, just making sure that leg is active if you do. Wherever you are, one more breath. Mindfully, we're going to release. Pressing the earth with our left hand to send our right hand back up before melting it down to the earth. From here, other side, inhale, left arm now goes up, and then exhale, swing it down. 2 more times, inhale, back up. Exhale, melting it through. 1 more time, inhale, up. And then exhale, really relaxing now that left shoulder, threading that left hand underneath the right. Again, that right hand can stay where it's at, can extend out or behind. But again, sending that shoulder back like we want to take your heart towards the ceiling. Invitation to float your right leg. But again, making sure that leg is active, flex or point. Wherever you choose to be, it is all perfect, just honoring our breath. Mindfully from here, we're going to press through that right hand, settling it on the earth to send the left hand back up. From here, melting it back down. Tucking our toes, lifting our hips back into that down dog, noticing how it feels to come back into our downward facing dog. This time, feet together behind, right leg is gonna come up to the sky. Bend your knee to open up your hip. There's gonna be a tendency here for that right shoulder to kind of lose its alignment. So with even more reason, send that right shoulder back, really sending your heart back towards that lonely leg. Maybe if you'd like to take a variation here, extending that right leg over to the right side, pointing or flexing your toes. From here, slowly lowering that right leg back down to the earth. We're gonna come for the other side. Inhale, left leg comes up. Bend through the knee, open up the hip. Imagine that you want to take your left knee towards your right glute. Breathing here, keep sending your heart back, especially that left shoulder. Maybe here extending that left leg over to the left side, flexing or pointing. And then slowly releasing it. From here, inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, lower down gently. Inhale, open up your heart. And then back to that downward dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and send your heart back towards your thighs. From here, feet together behind, right leg comes up. And from here, we step that foot in between the hands. From here, we're gonna relax that knee down, untuck the toes. So that right knee is tracking the ankle. From here, hands can stay down or reaching up. Shoulders relaxed. Sinking into the hips, yet growing in our heart center. From here, invitation to take a twist. Hands come to your heart, twist over to the right. Hooking the left elbow on the outer edge. Thumbs at your heart, gazing over that right shoulder. Really pressing the hands together here to help you. It's not just for decoration. We're really pressing the hands here to help us twist. From here, inhale your way back through center. And then exhale, hands back down. From here, tuck the toes behind you, activate that leg. We're gonna step it forward just a little bit. Find your pyramid pose. So we're making a pyramid shape with our legs. If you feel like you need to take some pressure off here, feel free to bend in that back knee. Let your head relax just like you would in a forward fold. This is quite intense for your hamstring. So again, feel free to modify and bend that back knee. It might feel even better. And just let the head melt. Think about sending your right hip back, left hip forward, just to keep our hips nice and square here. We're gonna take one more deep breath. From here, we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna shift our weight towards that right leg, float the back leg off. We're gonna grab onto our ankle with our right hand and come for a standing needle, a standing split, sending that left leg up and melting the crown of the head down. From here, slowly Tadasana, join both feet together at the top of the mat and just take a nice forward fold. Just a bit of a transition. Standing splits can be quite tedious, but sometimes the things that we avoid are the ones that we need the most. Enjoy your forward fold, maybe grabbing onto the elbows for that ragdoll. When you're ready, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, reach up. Maybe offer a heart opener at the top. And then let your exhale melt you back down, bending the knees to support you. From here, we're gonna bend the knees a lot. Step your right foot back. From here, find a runner's lunge. So that back leg is active, your gaze is forward or up. Notice what it feels like to sink into the hips, even though that back leg is active. From here, we're gonna step it back into a plank. From your plank, exhale, low push-up or gently lower down. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. And this time, child's pose. Open up the knees, big toes touch, and just sinking back. When you're ready, inhale back into your tabletop. And then exhale into your down dog. We're coming for the other side. So our feet come together behind. Left leg now comes up. And from here, we take that foot in between the hands. From here, lowering that knee down, untucking the toes. Hands can stay down or reaching up. Making sure that knee is tracking the ankle for safety, relaxing in the shoulders. Invitation to take that twist. Hands come to your heart, twisting to the left. Hooking that right elbow on the outer edge of your thigh. Notice that right elbow pressing onto your thigh to help you twist as well. Remembering our eyes are an extension of our spine, gazing over towards the left corner. Next breath in brings you through center. And the exhale melts the hands down. From here, tucking the toes behind us, activating that leg. Gently stepping it forward just a bit. Just to find that pyramid forward fold. So again, keeping our hips squared. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward, just to keep those hips nice and squared. From here, we bow, we melt, maybe bending in that back knee. Let your head relax, having no wrinkles in the back of the neck. From here, we're gonna have a little fun with our transition, shifting our weight towards that left leg, grabbing onto our left ankle with our left hand. Floating that right leg up to the sky, standing needle, right leg goes up and your head melts down, and then from here we find our forward fold. Shake it out, walk it out, just letting it go. From here, inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale to let it go. Inhale to rise and reach up, maybe offer a heart opener. And then exhale to melt it back down to Mother Earth. We're gonna bend the knees this time, step that left foot back, find that runner's lunge. So again, even though that leg is active, we're sinking in the hips. Notice how that feels. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing deeply. When you're ready, step it back into a plank. From your plank, exhale to lower down. Inhale to open up your heart. And then into a child's pose. Open up the knees, big toes touch, and sinking down. Connecting back with your intention, your purpose. When you're ready, inhale to your hands and knees, and then exhale to your down dog. From our down dog, feet together behind, right leg comes up. From here, step that right foot in between the hands. From here, we're gonna find an eagle. So that left foot is gonna come forward. We're gonna rise and wrap that foot around the right. So maybe we wrap, or maybe our toes stay supported, however you choose. Sinking into an imaginary chair. Right hand underneath, left arm on top, joining the palms or the shoulder blades, finding that eagle pose. Maybe here you'd like to play and round. Bring your elbows towards your belly button, slightly tucking your chin in. Maybe from here we find a bit of a heart opener, sending the fingertips back and the elbows up to the sky. From here, slowly come through center, release the hands, slowly unhook that leg, find a Tadasana mountain pose. Shoulders away from the ears or arms have a bit of weight. Notice your breath. Notice your intention and how it's been shaping your practice. When you're ready, we're going to work for a little bit more balancing, finding a drishti, a focal point. From here, standing leg raise on the right, bringing that right knee towards the chest. From here, when you're ready, extend that leg, extend the arms out in front. And from here, airplane pose, send that foot back. The hands are gonna go alongside the body, palms facing down. Imagine that your pinkies want to meet behind you and your hips are squared down to the earth. From here, standing leg raise, rising back up, bringing that knee back into the heart. This time we're gonna give it a hug. Maybe stay here. Maybe take your peace fingers and extend that leg out. Whether you're extended or not, it is all perfect. From here, invitation to take that right foot over to the right side. And again, if your knee is bent, you can just open up the knee to the side. Wherever you choose to be, it is up to you. Taking one more breath. From here, come through center and then release it back into your Tadasana. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale to melt it down. From here, bend your knees, right foot steps back. Find that runner's lunge so that back leg is active. We're sinking in the hips. From here, step that left foot back. Exhale to lower down. Knees, chest, chin, or low push-up. Inhale for cobra or up dog. And coming back to our down dog. From our down dog, feet together, left leg now comes up. From here, step that foot in between the hands. From here, we're gonna go for that eagle now on the other side. So that right foot comes forward, we wrap it around. Your toes can stay supported or hook around. We're gonna sink into that imaginary chair. Left arm underneath, right arm on top this time. Find the palms or the shoulder blades. From here, you have options, maybe rounding in the spine, hugging everything in. Maybe arching here, sending the fingertips back and the elbows up to the sky. When you're ready, slowly release. You got this. Unhook the hands, release, and find your Tadasana. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing here. We're going to find that standing leg raise now on the left. So again, finding a drishti, a focal point. We're going to hug that left knee in. From here, extend that leg, extend your hands, and from here, airplane pose. That leg goes back. The arms are alongside your body, palms facing down. Make sure that floating leg is active, whether it's flexed or pointed. Trust those micro movements on that standing leg. Mindfully from here, come back through center. This time, hug that knee in. Maybe from here, you take your peace fingers, extend that leg out. Whether you're hugging it in or extending it, it is all perfect. From here, invitation to go towards the left side. Got the wall, so I'm going to move over a little bit. Now, opposite hand can extend out, even at your hip, at your heart. And finding that drishti, that focal point, to help us stay centered and focused. From here, we're going to come back through center and then release it down. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale to reach up and then exhale to let it go. From here, bend the knees, left foot steps back, find that runner's lunge. From here, this time we're going to find a one-legged down dog, send the right leg up to the sky. And from here, half pigeon. So that knee is going to come in between the hands. That hip is going to relax. If you have a hard time grounding that hip, feel free to bring a pillow or a block underneath it. That leg can be extended, or maybe it feels better to bring it closer. Wherever you choose, we're going to inhale, open up our hearts, grow through our spine, and on the exhale, we melt and release. Really inviting the breath forward, feeling gratitude for our bodies, for our fingers, our toes, for our breath. Honoring this moment and how this makes us feel, not just physically, but mentally. Notice where you can send your love, your breath, your awareness in. Taking a couple more mindful deep breaths. When you're ready, we're slowly going to rise back up, using our hands to help us rise. From here, that leg that was behind us is going to come forward. We're going to come for Ujjayi Sukhasana, hugging that right leg in, extending the left leg out in front. Flexing our toes or pointing, however you prefer. We're going to inhale to grow and then exhale to bow over that left leg. Letting everything melt down, your head melt down. If you feel some tension that arises in your neck and shoulder, maybe gently taking the head from side to side. noticing how this feels here on this side, especially since we're going to compare it to the next side. From here, slowly rising back up. That left right knee is going to now come up towards the sky. That foot's going to ground down, so that right foot is supported. Our knee is up to the sky. Hug that leg in as close as it feels comfortable for you. From here, we're going to give it a hug with our left hand, and our right hand is going to go like a little cup behind us. From here, inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, gaze over the right shoulder, take a twist. Making sure that extended leg is not dead weight, whether it's flexed or pointed. There is some sort of intention in that leg. When you're ready, slowly come back through center. Release the twist by taking your body over to the left side. And then slowly back through center. From here, both legs back behind us. Finding our tabletop to then find our last down dog. From here, feet together behind. Left leg now comes up, and from here we find that half pigeon. So again, settling that left hip on the earth or a pillow or some sort of support. Extending that right leg back, and if that doesn't feel very good, you can always bring it in closer. Inhaling to grow through our spine and exhaling to surrender to the stretch. Making sure that our ego doesn't lead us into an injury, really bring the breath forward. And again, if you feel like you can't really breathe, perhaps take a variation where it's a little more gentle on your body, like bringing that leg in closer and variations of such. Perhaps you may feel your belly hit your leg as you breathe. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, perhaps relaxing your jaw and the muscles in your face. Connecting with at least 5 things we're grateful for in this very moment. A couple more gentle breaths. Noticing what our body has to say throughout these final breaths. Very mindfully, we're going to allow our hands to support us, rising back up. That leg that's behind us is going to come forward. Hugging that left leg in, extending the right leg out. Coming for our Sukhasana, flexing or pointing. Inhale to grow, then exhale to bow. The idea here is not so much to touch your toes, but just to surrender to yourself, to bow to yourself, to give yourself some love here. Slowly from here, we're gonna rise back up. That left knee is gonna point towards the sky as we ground that left foot up. From here, we're gonna give it a hug with our right hand. Our left hand is gonna go behind us like a little cup. From here, inhale, grow, and then exhale, twist and look over that left shoulder. Again, keeping intention in that leg that's extended. Gazing over that left corner with our eyes. Our eyes are an extension of the spine, really twisting with the whole body. From here, slowly releasing, maybe taking both hands over to the side to release. From here now, that left leg meets the right, extending them out for a pushing Uttanasana, seated forward fold. Flexing or pointing, inhale. Find that length in the spine, and then exhale, melt into that length. And again, making sure that the goal is not to touch our toes, but just to love ourselves a little more here. Maybe here, imagine that you want to take your heart towards your toes, and then letting the head melt it down. You're tensing up in the shoulders, be mindful of that. Sometimes we want to reach for the toes so bad that we end up creating more tension in our neck and shoulders. So notice if you can find some softness there. From here, finding our way back through center. We're going to use the strength of our core to help us lower all the way down. From here, happy baby, grabbing onto the outer edges of our feet, or maybe your thighs or your calves, whichever feels the best. Imagine grounding the tailbone down, your lower back supported on the earth. Imagine your quadriceps want to come towards this earth, down to the earth. Maybe perhaps here extending one leg at a time or both at a time. You can even bring the feet together in a per se flying Baddha Konasana. Taking deep breaths into our hips. From here, extend the legs up to the sky, extend the arms, moving around the wrists, the toes, the fingers, the ankles. Invitation to stay here, or maybe find plow pose. If you do, take your hands by your hips, use the strength of your core to help you take your feet overhead. If you're here, making sure we don't move our neck, doing our best to stack our hips above our shoulders. Maybe your hands go to your low back or reach back behind. Maybe from here, coming into a shoulder stand, supporting your hands to your low back preferably. Sending the legs up. Again, whether you're in the shoulder stand or whether you are in that sleeping tiger, our legs are extended. It's the same function, just different levels, different variations. The idea here is to activate our lymphatic system in our legs to allow for drainage of toxins. Sometimes we can find inflammation in our legs here, and something as simple as taking your legs up the wall can make a world of difference. And if you have that wall, feel free to take it, why not? Wherever you are, a couple more breaths. If you are in that shoulder stand, feel free to play with your legs, maybe find split in the legs or eagle legs like we did earlier standing. You can absolutely play with that. This is your practice. You are the author of your practice. You are the author of your life. When you are ready, using the strength of our core, we're slowly going to bring the knees back into our hearts. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of a back massage, a little bit of love by taking our hands at our knees and making circles with our knees. Massaging that part where your low back meets your hips, maybe taking it in the opposite direction too. Taking one more round or a couple, up to you. And then from here, we're just going to extend the arms out like a T. Melt the knees to the right, take the gaze to the left. If you want a little bit more, you can extend the bottom leg down and find a supine twist instead, but oftentimes less is more. Finding your variation of a twist, just making sure we're gazing away from the knees. One more conscious breath. From here, the knees come back through center, maybe giving ourselves a hug, a nice release. Bending our way to the other side, extending the arms out now, knees melt over to the left again. Take the variation that speaks to you in this moment. Taking the gaze away from the knees, allowing that right shoulder to relax down on the earth. You can also always take a pillow either in between the knees or underneath the bottom knee to give you some support. Let the muscles in your face relax. Nothing to think about other than just breathing. Nothing to do. It's just you and your breath. One more conscious breath. From here, we slowly come back through center. Find any final shakes, wiggles, anything you might need. Something I recommend here would be to lower the feet. Take the feet to the outer edges, and then just let the knees melt from side to side. I love the way this feels. Maybe it resonates with you. Maybe something else. Just anything before your Shavasana. When you are ready for your Shavasana, we can take traditional Shavasana, extending the legs and the arms out. You can take downward facing Shavasana on your belly instead. You can take the legs up the wall. That can be your Shavasana as well if you need it. And if you do, there's a way of getting in the wall. Let me show you real quick. So if you do decide to take your legs up the wall, take a seated position facing towards the side of the wall. And then from here, your hips melt and your legs come up. It's a much easier way of getting in and out of the wall. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. So if you do that variation, that could definitely help you. I'm going to take my Shavasana in a seated position just so that my voice can project. But if you wanted to take a seated meditation for your final pose, that is also acceptable. Anything is acceptable. But again, I highly recommend you to take this time, perhaps on your back, and just enjoying the support of the earth, enjoying not having to do anything. Even though it doesn't seem like a lot happens in our final pose, this is where we let our body make sense of everything that happened. This is where our muscle memory takes place. This is where all the energy that you move throughout your practice gets a chance to settle in. And as a result, we give ourselves permission to surrender and relax. We are human beings. All we have to do is be. We don't have to do anything. Honoring the natural rhythm of our breath. And enjoying this time with yourself. I encourage you to stay where you are for as long as your body desires. Thank you all so much for joining me in this flow, for sharing your love and your energy with me virtually. The light in me sees, respects, honors, and loves the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.